JRR, Orlando's rock station, Lynch and Taco Show. Good morning. It is time for Tech It Out, the latest technology news, brought to you by Pick Your Ticket Thursday.
You can win tickets to a bunch of upcoming JRR shows like the Halloweeny Roast, Stained with Breaking Benjamin, WJRR Instagram. If you're not following us, it's at 1011 WJRR. Just do what Klinger tells you to do and might be going to one of those shows.
Do it at some point today.
Promotions picks multiple people, too.
Yep. All right. If you subscribe to any flavor of DirecTV, be it the satellite version, DirecTV Stream, or AT&T Uverse, you know that you lost access to the Disney-affiliated channels, which includes all of the ESPN networks, over one of these contract disputes that pop up from time to time. It's always convenient. Seems to happen as you're getting ready for NFL season, right? So the first game that would be affected would be Monday Night Football. So a lot of people are like, oh, well, it'll be an 11th hour agreement and they'll sort that. No,
it's not gonna. Doesn't
look like it's going to be, at least if you believe the CEO of DirecTV, who was tweeting nonstop yesterday, that they are in this for the long haul. They are not going to sign some deal that they're strong-armed into, which will cause them to have to raise rates even more on a customer base that continues to dwindle. At one point, DirecTV had 22 million subscribers.
Yeah.
They've lost about half of those subscribers in the last 5 years.
Same with cable.
Exactly.
My parents in their 80s actually started using YouTube TV last week.
The whole argument that DirecTV and other TV provider or outlets argue is they are sick and tired of having to be forced into taking these huge blocks of channels that very few of their customers ask for, want, or even watch, and then still have to pay for those. Mm-hmm. And you can also say the reverse is true, where you've got customers who have no interest in sports whatsoever having to pay for sports-related channels. The ESPN package of channels is the most cost per customer there is of any other channels out there right now. So this looks like it may be an extended negotiation, perhaps going for weeks or maybe even months. If you are a DirecTV subscriber, they are offering $20 kickbacks to you there. You got to reach out and ask for it, though. So just reach out to their customer service, and I know it's not going to bring the channels back any quicker, but it'll at least lessen your bill a little bit this month.
Okay, I'll ask you later if it's affecting me or not.
It's not.
Okay, good.
It's not
good. So I didn't think so, but
you don't have DirecTV.
I didn't want to affect. Take the listeners' time.
No, you're going to be okay.
Good.
Don't be scared.
I ain't scared.
Boeing and NASA preparing to bring the troubled Starliner capsule back to Earth. If all goes as planned, 6:04 tomorrow evening Eastern Time, it will be undocking from the space station. And approximately 6 hours later, again, if all goes as planned, we'll land at New Mexico's White Sands Space Harbor with no astronauts inside. Those two astronauts, as we've documented here on this show and has been in the news nonstop, Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams, will still be on the International Space Station awaiting a ride back from the competing SpaceX, which will be going up there in February. Less two astronauts than originally planned to make room for those two to come back on the return trip.
Work together. I like how they're working together. It's two human beings, Get them back safe.
X has been banned nationwide in Brazil.
Why?
They say because of the proliferation of disinformation. Why X is being targeted? Because you could argue that there's disinformation on just about every platform online these days. You can jump in and take sides if you want. But as for right now, you can't access X, the platform formerly known as Twitter in Brazil. It's kind of a scary precedent.
Yeah.
Again, everything you see online, you got to think, is that right? Is that, use your noggin.
Run it through a filter.
Use your noggin. Toyota and BMW have announced a joint venture to push forward with hydrogen fuel-powered car technology. This is in its infancy. This technology does exist. In fact, there's a couple zero-emission vehicles that operate on hydrogen fuel cells, which, is the most abundant element in the universe. And if they could get this technology where it needs to be, it gets all of the goals of zero emissions met. And the only thing that's being put out is water vapor from these vehicles.
Yeah. That's the exhaust, yeah.
I think the thinking here is, all right, the push is on electric right now, but there's some headwinds with that. We've talked about that on this show, and the potential long-term issues with EVs and the batteries that go along with them and the cost of that. Could the hydrogen fuel cell be the ultimate answer? So Toyota and BMW are going to join forces to try to zero in on that project.
It'll be called BMOTA.
There's no truth to that I'm aware of.
Not at all, but if it was on the internet, I hope you'd run it through a filter.
Yes, use your noggin. A few years ago, Verizon Fios, which was one of the pioneers in fiber optic internet, they were one of the first to really offer that service, and it was mainly in the Northeast, but has since expanded to other parts of the country. Then they pulled back, Verizon did, on the home fiber stuff, and Fios even selling off portions of their footprint to Frontier Communications. Well, now things have come full circle as Verizon looks to expand Fios once again and resume, installing that by purchasing Frontier, who they had just sold off large swaths of their territory to years ago. It's a $20 billion deal that's in the works. Amazon delivery drones have been in place and being used in several cities, including College Station, Texas. Now, as Amazon looks to expand on that technology, they're running into some issues with the large private neighborhood that is near their Prime Air drone station in College Station, Texas. Noise from the drones and the constant buzz of these taking off and returning to the launching point.
I agree 100%. Have you noticed the humming when you're watching golf now?
Oh, yeah.
It's
a lot of sports events.
It's just so annoying to hear this constant...
Would you rather hear that or the plane that used to... That one tournament where that was... that became to the point where I can't even watch this.
You had to mute it.
Could you imagine, though, you move into a neighborhood, there's no drones flying overhead. Now you've got hundreds of them coming and going all day long, and Amazon wanting to expand that even further.
I'd be pissed, yeah.
Officials want to work with Amazon. Obviously, they love the jobs and commerce it's brought to College Station. It looks like the long-term solution here is Amazon's going to have to foot the bill to move that drone port away from the residential area, so they don't have to constantly be bombarded with the incoming and outgoing.
Meet in the middle.
Package delivery. What else we got? I mentioned this last week. It is happening on Monday, the Apple event. If you're eager to know everything about the new iPhone 16, Monday, 1 o'clock, all will be revealed. Expect to see new iPhone 16 and 16 Pro models, as well as updates to the Apple Watch, AirPods, and perhaps even new Macs. Although those may be the maybe category.
You know how they keep going back to retro stuff like the fold phones, the flip phones, and all that. It'd be great if they just went back for the 16 and they said it's basically a BlackBerry.
Apple BlackBerry flip phone
and Nextel. Remember those things?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I was reading. This is kind of interesting, and it makes sense if you think. Have you ever heard of Frigonomics?
Mm-mm.
This is a guy named Tassos Staspoulos. He's a founder and managing partner of Trinetra. It's a London-based investment firm.
Is it the economics of refrigerators? Or for refrigeration?
His way of looking and identifying trends and in investing in them is to take trips to developing parts of the world, get to know some locals, and literally look inside their refrigerators. You can see where they are in the socioeconomic scale based on contents of the refrigerators. And if he's going into, say, a society that really hasn't had access to dairy products per se, and all of a sudden he's seeing milk and cheese and ice cream in these people's freezers, like, things are improving around here, may want to invest in those type of technologies in this part of the world.
Wow.
And it's a proven track record.
It makes total sense.
It has this whole, this is a really long, involved article. It's on Wired.com if you want to check it out. But if you're an investor, you want every little edge you can have.
Once you go to that village and you see they have Czech Cola, you're like, that's it. I'm investing in Yetis. Going to need to keep them cold.
Diabetes drugs, maybe.
Lynch and Taco. On demand, download the iHeartRadio app.
From the Bogan Munz